Welcome to TourPedia Uncovered, your gateway to exploring the rich tapestry of our world's most fascinating stories and hidden gems. Today, we embark on an incredible journey through the United States of America, a land of diverse cultures, breathtaking landscapes, and a profound history that continues to shape our modern world. Join us as we delve into the heart of this remarkable nation, uncovering the events, places, and people that define its unique character. Whether you're a history buff, a nature enthusiast, or simply curious about the world, TourPedia Uncovered promises to be your ultimate guide. Let's begin this adventure together, right now. The United States of America is more than just a country. It's, an idea, a grand and often tumultuous experiment in democracy. It is a nation born from revolution and stitched together by the threads of countless cultures, languages, and dreams. Its story is one of profound contradictions, of breathtaking progress and heartbreaking struggle. From the bustling avenues of New York City to the quiet, sun-drenched plains of the heartland, the United States presents a kaleidoscope of human experience. It's a place where the echoes of history resonate in the present, shaping a future that remains unwritten, a testament to the enduring power of its founding promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This nation's geography is as diverse as its people, a sprawling canvas of extraordinary natural beauty. The land stretches from the rocky, forested coastline of the Atlantic in the east to the sun-kissed shores of the Pacific in the west. In between, you'll find landscapes that really stir the soul. The majestic Rocky Mountains slice through the continent, their snow-capped peaks standing as silent sentinels over vast wilderness. Further south, the arid deserts of the Southwest paint the land in hues of orange and red, carved by time into magnificent canyons and mesas. The Great Plains, the nation's breadbasket, roll on for what seems like an eternity, a sea of grass and grain under an immense sky. Many of these natural wonders have become iconic symbols of America itself. Think of the Grand Canyon in Arizona, a colossal chasm carved by the Colorado River over millions of years, revealing layers of geological history in its vibrant rock walls. Or consider Yellowstone National Park, the world's first national park, a geothermal wonderland of geysers, hot springs, and abundant wildlife, including bison and grizzly bears. From the thundering cascade of Niagara Falls on the border with Canada to the ancient towering sequoia trees of California, these landmarks are not just tourist destinations. They are a fundamental part of the American identity, reminding all who see them of the continent's raw, untamed power and enduring splendor. The climate of the United States is just as varied as its terrain, creating distinct regional characters. Florida and the Gulf Coast experience subtropical humid weather, a world away from the Arctic conditions found in the far reaches of Alaska. The Pacific Northwest is known for its mild, rainy climate that nurtures lush, green forests. Meanwhile, the Midwest endures a full spectrum of seasons, with hot, humid summers giving way to cold, snowy winters. This incredible diversity in landscape and climate has profoundly shaped the nation's history, influencing everything from settlement patterns and agricultural practices to the very spirit and resilience of the people who call these different regions home. Long before European ships ever appeared on the horizon, the lands that would become the United States were home to a rich tapestry of indigenous civilizations. These were not monolithic cultures, but hundreds of distinct nations, each with its own complex social structures, spiritual beliefs, and sophisticated knowledge of the land. In the Southwest, the ancestral Puebloans built remarkable cliff dwellings, architectural marvels that still stand today. In the Mississippi River Valley, the people of the Mississippian culture constructed great earthen mounds, centers of trade and ceremony, the largest of which, Cahokia, was once a city larger than London at the time. These first peoples were astronomers, farmers, artists, and philosophers. The arrival of European explorers in the late 15th and 16th centuries marked a dramatic and often tragic turning point. Nations like Spain, France, and Great Britain saw the New World as a land of opportunity, a place for acquiring wealth, spreading religion, and expanding their empires. Spanish conquistadors pushed into the south and west in search of gold, establishing missions and military outposts. The French established a vast fur trading network along the rivers of the interior, from the Great Lakes down to Louisiana. This encounter between worlds was complex, leading to trade and cultural exchange, but it also brought devastating diseases and violent conflict that would forever alter the lives of Native American peoples. It was the English, however, who established the most enduring foothold along the Atlantic coast, beginning with Jamestown in 1607 and Plymouth in 1620. 13 distinct colonies took root. Each developed its own unique character, from the Puritan Society of Massachusetts to the plantation economy of Virginia, which came to rely on the forced labor of enslaved Africans. Over generations, these colonists began to see themselves less as transplanted Europeans and more as something new, Americans. They developed their own local governments and economies, and a fierce spirit of independence began to grow, fueled by Enlightenment ideals of liberty and self-governance and chafing under the distant rule of the British Crown. This growing tension eventually erupted into open rebellion. The American Revolution, fought from 1775 to 1783, was a struggle against the most powerful empire on earth. On July 4, 1776, the colonists boldly declared their independence, articulating a radical new vision for government based on the consent of the governed. After years of hard-fought battles, the improbable victory was won. The challenge then became how to create a nation. The result was the United States Constitution, a groundbreaking document that established a federal republic with a system of checks and balances. It was an imperfect creation, one that failed to resolve the issue of slavery, but it laid the foundation for the nation's future growth and its enduring democratic experiment. With its independence secured, the young United States turned its gaze westward. The 19th century was defined by a powerful and relentless drive for expansion across the continent. This idea was fueled by a concept known as manifest destiny, the belief that the nation was divinely ordained to stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This ambition was realized through treaties, purchases like the Louisiana Purchase from France in 1803, which doubled the size of the country, and wars, most notably the Mexican-American War. Pioneers in covered wagons braved treacherous trails, seeking land, gold, and a new life, embodying the American spirit of adventure and rugged individualism. This westward movement, however, came at a tremendous cost. It was a story of displacement and conflict for the Native American nations who stood in the path of expansion. Treaties were made and broken, and tribes were forcibly removed from their ancestral lands onto reservations, a painful chapter in American history known as the Trail of Tears. The relentless push west also brought the nation's most divisive issue to the forefront. As new territories were acquired, the question of whether they would permit slavery or be free states became a source of intense and bitter political conflict, threatening to tear the fragile Union apart. The deep chasm between the industrial, free labor North and the agrarian, slave-holding South finally split the nation in two. The American Civil War, which raged from 1861 to 1865, was the country's most devastating conflict. It was a brutal, bloody war, fought not against a foreign enemy, but between fellow countrymen, brother against brother. The war tested the very survival of the United States and the principles upon which it was founded. President Abraham Lincoln's leadership during this dark time was crucial, as he framed the conflict not just as a fight to preserve the Union, but as a struggle to ensure that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. The Union's victory in 1865 brought an end to the war and with the passage of the 13th Amendment, abolished the institution of slavery. The nation was preserved, but it was left deeply scarred. The period that followed, known as Reconstruction, was an attempt to rebuild the South and integrate nearly 4 million newly freed African Americans into the fabric of American society. It was a time of both great promise and profound failure. While new constitutional amendments granted citizenship and voting rights, fierce resistance and the eventual withdrawal of federal protection allowed for the rise of segregation and systemic discrimination, leaving the promise of true equality unfulfilled for another century. In the decades following the Civil War, the United States underwent a staggering transformation. This was the Gilded Age, a period of explosive industrial growth. Railroads crisscrossed the continent, connecting distant markets and fueling settlement. Factories sprang up in cities, drawing millions of immigrants from Europe and migrants from rural America in search of work. Titans of industry like Andrew Carnegie in steel, John D. Rockefeller in oil, and Thomas Edison in invention and electricity built vast fortunes and reshaped the American economy. This industrial revolution turned the United States into a manufacturing powerhouse, a nation of smokestacks, innovation, and unprecedented wealth. This rapid industrialization also brought significant social challenges. While some amassed incredible fortunes, many workers toiled for long hours in dangerous conditions for low pay. Cities became overcrowded, leading to sanitation problems and social unrest. This era saw the rise of labor unions, which fought for better wages, safer workplaces, and the right to organize. It was a time of great tension between capital and labor, and of a growing debate about the role of government in regulating the economy and protecting its citizens. The progressive era of the early 20th century emerged from these struggles, ushering in reforms aimed at curbing corporate power and improving society. The 20th century saw the United States step onto the world stage as a major global power. Its involvement and eventual victory in World War I and World War II marked a definitive end to its isolationist past. The nation emerged from the Second World War as the world's leading economic and military force, a superpower facing off against the Soviet Union in a decades-long ideological struggle known as the Cold War. This period shaped American foreign policy, fueled a nuclear arms race, and led to conflicts in Korea and Vietnam. At home, the post-war era was a time of economic prosperity, suburban growth, and the rise of a mass consumer culture. The federal government of the United States is structured around a brilliant and enduring design, a separation of powers into three distinct branches. The legislative branch, Congress, is composed of the Senate and the House of Representatives, and it is responsible for making the nation's laws. The executive branch is led by the President, who is responsible for enforcing those laws, and the judicial branch, headed by the Supreme Court, is responsible for interpreting the laws and the Constitution itself. This system of checks and balances was created to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful, ensuring a stable and accountable government that remains at its core subject to the will of the people. The American economy today is a dynamic engine of innovation and productivity. It is the largest in the world, driven by a diverse range of sectors from finance and technology to agriculture and entertainment. Hubs of creativity like Silicon Valley in California have become synonymous with technological advancement, giving birth to companies that have revolutionized how the world communicates, works, and lives. The nation's economic strength is built on a foundation of entrepreneurship, a culture that encourages risk-taking and celebrates new ideas. This economic might allows the United States to exert significant influence on global markets and international affairs, making its financial health a matter of worldwide concern. American culture is a vibrant fusion, a rich melting pot where traditions from around the globe have blended to create something entirely new and uniquely American. This is evident in its food, where you can find everything from Italian pizza and Mexican tacos to Vietnamese po, all considered part of the American culinary landscape. It is also seen in its music, which gave the world jazz, blues, rock and roll, and hip-hop, art forms born from the experiences of diverse communities. American films, television shows, and sports like baseball and basketball have become cultural exports, captivating audiences across the planet and shaping global trends, for better or for worse. The pursuit of knowledge has long been central to the American identity. The country is home to some of the world's most prestigious universities and research institutions, attracting students and scholars from every corner of the globe. This commitment to education and scientific inquiry has led to countless breakthroughs, from the development of the polio vaccine to landing a man on the moon and pioneering the internet. However, the nation also faces significant challenges. Political polarization has created deep divisions in society, making it difficult to find common ground. Issues like climate change, economic inequality, and racial injustice demand urgent attention and collaborative solutions, testing the resilience of its democratic institutions. Today, on December 17, 2025, the United States continues its journey as an ongoing, evolving experiment. It is a nation constantly wrestling with its own history, striving to live up to its highest ideals while confronting its deepest flaws. Its role in the world is complex and ever-changing, but its influence remains undeniable. The story of America is not finished. It is a narrative that is being written and rewritten every day by its more than 330 million people. It is a story of struggle and triumph, of division and unity, and of an enduring belief in the possibility of creating a more perfect union, a beacon of freedom and opportunity for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the fascinating tapestry of the United States, here on TourPedia Uncovered. We hope you enjoyed exploring the stories, achievements, and challenges that have shaped this remarkable nation. If you're eager for more discoveries and explorations from around the globe, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. There's a whole world waiting to be uncovered. See you in the next adventure.